Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we're going to be talking about the misconceptions and myths around autism. But if you could smash me a big thumbs up down below and subscribe to my YouTube channel, I'll forever be grateful. You're helping me make my dream a reality, so thank you so much. Let's get on to the video. So when it comes to, you know, neurological disorders like autism and ADHD, people still can't get to grips with, you know, truth, fact versus kind of false myths. People still don't understand that. So this video is I'm just going to try and help clear that up. So I have already, I'll link it up in the iCard, done basically ADHD versus myths. I've done that before, and hopefully this video about autism can help clear it up too. So one of the most common misconceptions about autism is that vaccines have caused autism. I don't know why. It's been scientifically proven that that is not the case. People still choose to believe that vaccines will give you autism. My opinion on this is, how come kids that haven't actually been vaccinated still have autism? I don't understand how people can assume that vaccines are going to give you autism. It's just not like that. The only person or the only thing in this world that can actually give a person autism is the parent. Like, you're born with autism. You can't be injected with autism like that. Yeah, I mean, this kind of myth has been around for centuries. People still choose to this day in the 21st century, people still choose to believe that it's true, and it is not true. We debunk that. That is not true. That is 100% a myth. We do not need to believe that. Autism is not caused by a vaccine. For number two, this one is an ongoing kind of stereotyped myth about autistic people, and that is people with autism don't have any empathy or they don't understand emotion. Now this is something that is completely untrue. So again, this misconception is debunked. It is not true. So people with autism actually do feel emotion. Like, we are human. We actually feel emotion. We may not show it like people without autism, but who cares? You know, that is what people get confused with, because we may not be like, oh my god, you know, or our ways of showing love may not be like buying people flowers or, you know, hugging, kissing them. People just assume we don't naturally have emotion or feel emotion, but the thing is, we are super empathetic, we are compassionate, and we do feel emotion. We just show it and feel it differently to people without autism. Stop stereotyping people with autism as just people without feelings, like we're just cold-hearted people, because that is not true. We actually feel emotions very, very deeply. It's not that we don't know it, we don't feel it, we're unaware of emotion. We just sometimes have, you know, a very hard time expressing emotion the way that society wants us to. We 100% know what happiness, sadness, anger, love, we know how all these emotions feel. It's just we find it hard to express them. We may have trouble expressing them, but that doesn't mean we don't feel them and we can't show them, because we are human. We feel emotion. Like, honestly, we're human, so of course we're going to feel emotion. So we may have different ways of expressing our emotion, and that's what people kind of get, well, I don't know how they get confused, but people just get confused with that. So again, we've debunked two of these misconceptions. So for number three, people assume that autism is linked to kind of a really high IQ. People kind of get those misconceptions really kind of mixed up. They automatically assume that everyone with autism are going to be super intelligent. No, that isn't the case. Again, we've debunked three already, and this video probably isn't even 10 minutes long yet. So let me just explain this one. So people with autism, we have really strong passionate interest. So if we're interested in something, we can research, read books, and we can get really involved, and we can digest information about subjects or interests that we're super interested in. But just because I have autism and another person may have autism, it doesn't necessarily mean we're super intelligent. Every single person with autism is an individual person. So autism is a diagnosis, is a spectrum. Not everyone is going to have the same interests, the same traits. You know, it varies. Every person is an individual. Every person with or without autism, everyone is an individual. No one is the exact carbon copy of each other, and that is what makes being autistic a beautiful thing. We have our own set of traits. Even though we are autistic, that makes us even more unique and beautiful. It just means we see the world in an even brighter colour. Autism has no correlation between a high IQ and autism. There just isn't any links like scientifically proven yet. So a lot of people kind of still get stuck up on that, and they still think that that's a link, that we're going to be super intelligent. A lot of people with autism are super intelligent, but that's because they're intelligent. They're brainy. It doesn't just because they have autism doesn't mean we're naturally going to be intelligent. So for number 4, people are now saying this about autism: it is overdiagnosed, and it's not true. So again, this is another kind of misconception that goes along with ADHD as well. You know, people kind of just like to throw this out there that it's not true, or it's overdiagnosed, or that it's an excuse. So this can really be demoralizing for a person with autism, because again, it makes our, you know, our experiences, our traits kind of like made to feel, you know, that they have no value, and our experiences are just a joke to people and they're not true. So this can be really hard to digest as an autistic person, because it makes you feel like what you're going through doesn't matter, you know, just get on and go, just get on with life, just get over it. So things like these comments about, oh, it's not true, or oh, it's overdiagnosed, do you know what? Yeah, it might be getting more and more diagnosed, because a lot more people are coming forward. A lot more people are learning that actually I'm not embarrassed to say that I'm struggling. A lot of people will now go to the doctor, will go to specialists, because it's not something to be ashamed of. So yeah, the numbers might be getting higher, and adults now are starting to become more and more diagnosed, because they're going misdiagnosed as a child because it just wasn't well known. But now a lot more people are starting to understand what autism, ADHD, you know, Asperger's, bipolar, people are starting to realise that neurological disorders are actually super important, and they need to be addressed at a younger age, because, you know, life can be super impacted if you don't get it diagnosed quick enough. So I just kind of touched up on this, but number 5 is that autism only apparently occurs in kids. But no. So the number of like adults getting diagnosed now is actually on the increase. It's going up, because people, like I say, are becoming more aware of the traits. They are becoming more confident, and they're realising that it's not anything to be ashamed of to admit, actually, I might need help here. That makes me happy, because I know that having ADHD, autism, or any neurological disorder that makes you feel different and makes you kind of look not normal in society can be super impacting on your mental health, your self kind of confidence, your friendships, your relationships. This can be a huge impact, and I'm so happy that, you know, this isn't true, that autism does happen and does get diagnosed in adults a lot more now. So hopefully people will start to realise that this myth is just not true. So we have debunked 5 now. So for number 6, it has to be all autistic people can't make eye contact. So I want to say, I mean, for me it's true, but it doesn't happen for every autistic person. That again is a myth. Not everyone will have this. This is not a telltale sign to if you've got autism or not. This could be an indicator, yes, but it doesn't mean you have or you haven't. So for me, eye contact can be very uncomfortable, making me feel kind of pressured, kind of forced into looking into someone's eyes. It can be very uncomfortable and awkward for me. So I do find it difficult, but again, I also have ADHD, which can kind of make that happen too. So, you know, this is a common trait for people with autism, but it doesn't happen for everyone. So again, we have
debunked 6 now.
So for number 7, a lot of people say autistic meltdowns are just bad tantrums and they're being spoiled children. So again, this is something that really infuriates me, because, you know, I'm 22 and I know sometimes I have meltdowns and people kind of look at me like, but, you know, I am old enough now and I'm wise enough to actually just think,
what the hell, I don't care if people are staring at me. I'm very overwhelmed in this situation.
But little kids, they can't help having a meltdown in the middle of Asda, Morrison's, Tesco, you know, other supermarkets are available. They can't help it. We as people cannot pick and choose when we're going to become overwhelmed, kind of anxious. We can't choose that, nor can anyone who has an allergy. You know, people can't pick and choose when they're going to have an allergic reaction if they didn't remember to look at the ingredients, or someone passed them a tomato and they're allergic to tomatoes but they didn't realise it had tomatoes in it as an ingredient. People can't choose that. Kids, yes, have tantrums. Autistic children, yes, they do have tantrums, because they are normal toddlers, children, autistic adults. So an autistic meltdown is so different to a tantrum. So an autistic meltdown can be when people with autism get overwhelmed by kind of like, you know, overstimulated by sensory overloads and loud noises. They can become very like anxious and they just feel kind of like in our space, and we don't feel safe anymore. And like the only way we can kind of express that is by having a meltdown, kind of just shouting, screaming, kind of rocking. You know, things are not okay. You know, in a meltdown, the last thing you want people to do to your child who has autism is point, stare. As an adult, the last thing you want to do is have people stare at you. So if you still believe that an autistic meltdown is still a tantrum, you know, this video needs, I hope it's going to teach you some stuff. And if not, you just need to get your personality changed, because you're just not a nice person. The next one is people with autism don't want friends. That is so wrong. I would love to have a group of friends. Unfortunately, I'm not lucky enough to have even one friend, but I would absolutely adore a friend. So I don't know where that one comes from, but again, we've debunked 7 is that 7, 8? No, 7 myths, I think. Oh, I don't know, I've lost count, but we've debunked quite a few already, so let's keep going. So the next one is people with autism cannot be independent or live independently. I mean, again, this is different for every single person, because every single autistic person is different. They are not aliens. We are not a different species of human being. You know, there are people without autism that struggle to live independently. There are some autistic people that actually thrive living independently, and I'm an autistic person and I don't like being alone. I find it very difficult to cope on my own. There's a huge variety of answers to this, but this whole thing about they can't, again, we've debunked this, because again, it's a whole, you know, everyone is different. Every person is a unique individual. Everyone is you know, entitled to their own kind of you know, difficulties, challenges, like what they thrive in, what they don't thrive in. Every single person is entitled to that. I might like M&Ms, you may not like M&Ms. You know, we aren't going to like the same things. Every autistic person isn't going to have the same set of traits. You know, I might not like sleeping on my own, whereas another person may absolutely hate sleeping in a room with someone else. You know, this is something that people need to get their head around. Just because we have the same disorder, like label, it does not mean that we all have the same traits. It's just one of those things, you know. So the next one is people with autism are bad at parenting. So I have grown up with a mum that has bipolar, so I kind of know that it doesn't matter, regardless if you have any mental health issues, a neurological disorder, you know, it doesn't define you as a parent, nor would it define you as a partner, a friend. You know, like I say, everyone is an individual. So a parent with autism may need some extra support, a little bit like more help. Who has the right to say they aren't a good parent? Because I know full well I would be a good parent, and I know some autistic people that would make absolutely amazing parents. So I don't know where that one comes from, but we've debunked another one. So for this one, I just think it's absolutely stupid, but apparently autistic people don't have a sense of humour. I mean, I could be quite funny, and I actually, like, sometimes just laugh at my own jokes because I am quite funny. I mean, maybe I don't have a sense, maybe I'm just not funny and I just laugh at myself, but I find my sister highly amusing sometimes, and you know, I find things really funny. So I do have a sense of humour, so again, I've debunked that. And I know a lot of people with autism actually are great comedians. There are a lot of comedians that are famous that have autism, ADHD, bipolar. You know, we don't take life too seriously, and we actually make jokes of our own at our own kind of cost, and that's okay, because we can make fun of ourselves, but you can't. People without autism, or even me as an autistic person, I have absolutely no right to make a joke about someone who has autism. It's just not okay. But people with autism, we are funny, and like I say, we just take the mick out of ourselves half the time, because who wants to take life too seriously? So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I mean, I just wanted to kind of help stop the stereotyping, you know, the misconceptions, the myths about autism. You know, I'm not ever going to be able to change the world on my own, but I really hope these little like videos can just help people realise, you know, just because we may have autism, ADHD, bipolar, you know, schizophrenia, personality disorders, that does not mean we aren't normal, we aren't human. We are. We just have different needs, different abilities. You might be able to do one thing. Yeah, we might need extra support, but that doesn't mean you're any better than us. We might just need it explained a few more times. Who cares? As long as it gets the job done, like, who cares? If I learn a different way, who cares? If I can't keep eye contact, who cares? I'm listening, my ears are working. Why does it matter? But, you know, I just want people to know we are normal. We are not a different species of human being. We are not an alien. So, I mean, it'd be pretty cool if we were, but we're not. So I just want you guys to know, if you have autism, you're not alone. You're not stupid. You're not dumb. You're not weird. You're not like abnormal. You're normal. We just have different needs, different superpowers. We are just human beings. Everyone, with or without autism or neurological disorders, mental health issues, everyone is an individual. Like I say, I might like Monster Munch and you probably don't. If you don't like Nutella, but I do. Not everyone's gonna like the same thing. Not everyone's gonna have the same ability. I'm really rubbish at maths, but my dad's amazing at maths. That doesn't matter. Like, we have different strengths, and this is what makes the world continue spinning. We are all different. That is what makes life beautiful. So if you can't accept someone for being different, then seriously, I don't understand what your problem is. Maybe you just, I don't know, maybe you're not normal. Maybe that's it. Maybe we're normal, you're not normal, because you don't understand that it's okay to be different. And being different is good, because we're not different because we're weird. We're different because we have different abilities, and we are unique, and we're human. Everyone is different. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have, please smash me a big thumbs up down below. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Remember, when I hit 2k, you guys can pick my next tattoo. So let's get me to 2k. I think I'm like 200 off, but yeah, let's get going to raising that 2k and just get me a tattoo. That's it. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. Comment down below if you have been affected by any of these misconceptions. If I've missed any misconceptions, let me know down below. Comment them and I'll like them. I'll chat to you. But yeah, let's get on to, nope, we're not getting on. Let's get on to ending this video because I need to drink and it's super hot here. So yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.